Yeah, no worries. Let me just move this here. No problem. Good morning, everybody. Well, we had everything. Oh, good morning to all of you, too. Well, we had everything all set up, but they have to move one of the airplanes that is behind us in this community hangar. So we're going to hide in the corner. And hopefully this is working. Hold on one second. Let me double check. Okay, looks like we are good. Can everybody see me? Good morning. Let's see. Shouting to hair and makeup 2 months, 2 minutes. I love it. That's awesome. I'm supposed to be installing solar panels. It can wait. I love that. I'm very, very happy to hear that. Wow, we have quite a few people who have been on here chatting this whole time. That is excellent. Wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Like I said, basically, they are going to move all of the airplanes that are in the hangar. So you're going to actually get to see them move MystiK, which is kind of cool. But it's going to be loud for a minute, and then we should be good. Hold on one second. Am I in your way right here, or is this okay? Cool. Thank you so much. So anyways, hello, everybody. They're going to just move the airplane, take the airplane out from the back, and then they will move the airplane back in here. And then I will see if they can close the hangar so it's a little bit quieter for us as well. But good to see everybody. Wow, we have a ton of members on here, so I'm so happy that you guys could join me. I hope you are having a beautiful Saturday. As a lot of you guys know, I like to do my lives on Fridays. However, I decided I wanted to get out of the house and chat with you guys a little bit more. So like I said, it's going to get loud for a second, but we will make it all work, so don't worry. The name of the new airplane is MystiK, and it ends with a K. So I'm trying to show you guys. That is how they move. There it is. That is how they move the airplane in and out. Obviously, this airplane is a lot heavier than Little Red was, so I do not actually have to park the airplane or anything like that, which is kind of cool. But I will let you guys kind of see like they're moving that way. But we'll make the best of it. Thank you to everybody who answered the question and did that spelling for me. I appreciate it. So what did you guys think of the new video? Obviously, it is live for everybody now, even though my members got to see it earlier, which is kind of cool. Not that loud for you guys. Oh, okay, good. I feel like I'm like having to scream to be heard, so I'm glad that it is not that loud. I'm going to let you guys see. Okay, we'll just stay out of their way. I'm just going to keep an eye on it in the meantime. But for all of my members, obviously you guys were the first to see the video, and I was able to go and respond to some comments, which was awesome. But now that the actual video itself is up, what does everybody think? Did you like the 360 cam reviews? Have you not watched it yet? Definitely let me know. My airplane is probably a little bit faster than the J3 Cub that you fly. I think right now I'm probably going to see if I can top her out at about 190, maybe 200. But it's really just going to depend on what my fuel is looking like and what altitude I'm going to be going forward. I'm fantastic, Greg. How are you? I'm so happy that you are here. Is it K for K? Yes, it is. I thought that would kind of be the easiest way for me to have a little part of me. I'm trying to decide if I'm still going to put Fly with K on the side or if I'm just going to do her name and my name. So let me know. What do you guys think? Eric says, another member, awesome, says 360 was great. I'm so happy to hear that. All your videos are awesome. Thank you, David. Love the 360-degree rotation from the left wing. I was so proud of that, and I actually sped it up just a tiny bit so that nobody would get bored. But I've gotten several comments about how you guys loved that. So I will definitely be doing that again in the future because that was probably my favorite part of the entire video. Of course, the takeoff and the landing, being able to see the gear go up and everything was really cool too. But this video was really, really fun to make because obviously it was my first time actually getting to fly with Pops. And for those of you that have probably been with me for a while, you will know what a big deal that is because I used to fly with him in Little Red all the time. And then I started doing a lot more solo trips because, you know, he was busy or, you know, I just wanted to go and fly by myself. So it was really special to be able to get back in the airplane with him too. I like the view from the tail cam. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that because we are going to be doing more tail cam shots. I'm also going to figure out a way to make sure that the camera doesn't swing down as far as it did when we were coming back into land. But I'm glad that you guys love it. Hey, David Murphy, thank you for saying you love my new Bose headset. I'm actually going to get in once the airplane is parked again and show you guys how it all works. And then if anybody is interested, I actually put the link in the description because I had quite a few of you leave comments on the video already on how you could get one too. So just to make it easy, you can either go to Bose website or you can just click the link in my description. Whatever you want to do is totally cool. The new airplane is not pressurized, but I'm glad that you enjoyed the new video. Excellent. Tom Trail. So I'm going to answer a few member questions as soon as I can. I am going to answer a few of the members' questions first, and then we will go back to just chatting with everybody. So Tom Trail said the 360-degree was great view when landing. Watching the landing gear is also nice. Okay, so would you prefer to be able to see going forward, watching the landing from the wing and just a little bit of the tail and a little bit of me, or do you want me to do that back camera? Because I tried a few different things on this video thinking that that would make things the easiest for me to kind of see what's going on. Start a fuel fund for contributes. You can actually, if you want to, you definitely don't have to, but since you brought it up, you can actually do super thanks on here, which one is really fun for me to see. And two, it does go directly into the fuel fund. Unless you are like a couple of my friends here, like knowing Lee, he specifically tells me when he donates that it is for the hamburger fund, but that is an option for you as well. I love watching all your videos. I just wish I had the smarts to learn to fly. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, John. Hi, Anna. Good to see you. Looking good. Flight was wonderful. Do you always have 2 pilots at all times in MystiK? Very good question. The answer is no. Basically, what's going to happen is right now, because I'm not super comfortable in the airplane, it is nice to have my dad, Pops, with me on board because he can handle radio calls. One thing a few of you may have missed, and I'm just going to tell you because you know Kay, she tells you everything. I missed a radio call after we took off. And it wasn't a huge important radio call. Once I realized that she was actually talking to me, I was waiting for her to make the same call again. But Pops caught it, so he was able to take over for me there, which was pretty cool. Okay, we're going to see this airplane. Oh, I almost fell over. Pull out, and then we will get back to answering some questions. But I thought I would just show you guys. Look how pretty. What do you guys think? Should this be my next airplane? I don't know. It's a pretty airplane. I think that one's definitely got to be pressurized. I don't know what kind of airplane it is, but I definitely like the idea of having one of these private charter or jet type of airplanes sometime in the future. With the license you have now, are you able to fly small jets? Technically, yes, but also no. There is always going to be required training. And even if it's not required training, you should always get additional training if you're going to be flying an aircraft that you obviously aren't familiar with. So for example, when I got the Seneca MystiK, I keep forgetting you guys know the name now. I'm also like kneeling down trying to talk to y'all. I'm going to stand up so my legs don't go to sleep. When I got MystiK, I had to do 10 hours for insurance purposes, but I was already going to be doing some additional training just because I haven't flown a multi-engine other than the King Air that I've been flying recently for the last 5 years. So I wanted to be super comfortable with, you know, putting the gear down, putting the gear up, knowing my air speeds, and all that good stuff too. Renee, your next plane should be a King Air. We'll see if I need that big of an airplane. It would be very, very cool though. I do love flying the King Air, so that would be pretty awesome. Are you comfortable with the panels now? I'm working on it. I'm slowly getting more and more comfortable with the airplane as a whole every single time that I fly, which is really important because, you know, I'm still going to be doing some trips with Pops and stuff, just making sure, following checklists, I've got somebody to help out and everything. Oh, yay. Hello, David. Hembry, I hope I said your last name right. Thank you so much for becoming a private pilot member. That makes me so happy. And I'm very happy to have you not only as a Caviator, but as a member. For those of you that don't already know this, David, you now will have access to videos at least a day early every week. So when I have something scheduled for a Saturday, David, now you can actually go in and watch it on Friday. Sometimes Thursday. It really just depends when I get the video done and what my schedule looks like. But that means that you'll be the first to know what's going on. And most of the time I try to respond to those comments first anyways, so you'll get to talk to me more. But thank you very much for becoming a member. I'm so happy to have you here. Hi, Kay. Can't stay, but wanted to check in. Hi, Nerd Jared. Good to see you. Thank you for at least joining for a little bit. I am going to try to do at least an hour-long live. They're parking MystiK back now, so we should be able to go and at least be in front of the airplane. And I'm going to ask them to close that hangar, too. 1, because of bugs, and 2, because it's very, very hot. I would like to come to North Carolina at some point. Like I told you before, I actually have some family and some friends that live over there, so that'd be really cool. Hi, sibling creature. For some reason, seeing the tug move the planes around brings to mind all the old Kennedy Steve ATC videos. Well, hopefully that is a good thing because I love those videos. I grew up watching those videos. Not technically grew up, but you know what I mean. James, thank you so much for the $10. That's going right in the gas tank. I really do appreciate it so, so much. And thank you for doing a super thanks. I guess they're actually just called supers, but I like to call them super thanks so that you guys know how much they really do mean to me. So thank you very much to James Graham, and it let me heart that. So that was very cool. I'm thinking about learning about planes. You should absolutely learn more about planes. I'm kind of trying to figure out more about airplanes too. Okay, I think they're going to move one more, and they put us right in the center. Yeah, it looks like they're going to move this one too. So we might actually be in the way for this one. So we're going to move again. Third time's the charm. Okay. I'm just going to go right in front of MystiK so that we stay out of the way. David Wellingham, thank you so much. Oh, Willingham, excuse me. Thank you so much for the $10. Again, your guys' support means so much to me. I do these lives just so I can kind of answer questions and talk with y'all, but it does really mean a lot. So thank you very much to David Willingham and James Graham. You guys are awesome. More Go Juice. Yay. Yes. I love calling it that too. I started saying that around my mom and she was like, what are you talking about? But once she understood, then it was all good anyway. So, oh, and thank you so much to Zachary Janky. I really hope that I said that properly. You just sent me a $2 super thanks and every little bit helps. So thank you very, very much. And you have a blessed day as well. Thank you for joining. Robbie here, are you planning a trip around the world in MystiK? Not necessarily planned yet. However, I do have a lot more freedom with this airplane that I didn't have in Little Red. So we will just have to see. I really love your new airplane. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Oh, and thank you so much to Christopher Thompson. It won't actually let me heart yours, but I appreciate the support so much. And thank you for the super thanks. You guys are awesome. I'm loving seeing all of the members on here too, because you guys show up in green. So it's really, really easy to see your comments when you leave them. Finally made it to a live. Oh, well, I'm glad that you are here. Thank you so much for joining me. Santos Sir Glenn, Dr. Hield. That was a long username, but I like it. It's definitely something I'm going to remember a few more times. So welcome. I'm glad that you were able to come. If you ever come to Southampton, go to Solent Sky Aviation Museum. I've got a list of like 20 different museums that you guys told me I need to go to. But we have to put a pause on answering questions because Marvin Archer just gave me a huge super thanks. So thank you very much, Marvin. That is officially the biggest super thanks I have gotten on this live, and it is going to help me so, so much. Between you guys being members and just even paying the $5 a month, and then all of the super thanks you guys do on these lives, it really keeps me going and it keeps me in the air, which means I get to keep creating content for you. So thank you so much to everybody, and a huge shout out to you, Marvin. You are amazing. Oh, and this one will actually let me heart it this time, so that's nice. Santa's here. I think that's really funny. Hello to everybody. My uncle is a FedEx pilot for 19 years. That's very cool. I looked into a lot of different options, and honestly, I'm not sure which option I'm going to go with. Really quick, I do want to ask y'all, how is the service this time? Because I know yesterday we were having some issues. So is it any better? Because the hangar doors are open. And if it's not better, I'm going to ask them to close it because it's hot. But if it is, then that's totally cool. Gas ain't cheap, you know. I do know, unfortunately. And now I'm paying twice as much because I have 2 engines instead of 1. But it's going to be worth it in the long run. So that's okay. How do you donate? Dave, thank you so much for asking. I think you just do super thanks on here, or if you want to have a few little perks and be able to see the video sooner than everybody else, you could just become a member too. That is a great way to help me out. Thank you so much for asking. I've been struggling a bit in private pilot. Any tips? My biggest tip for you is if you're struggling, start chair flying. It might sound silly, and if you're not already doing it, I would highly recommend it. Basically, all you're going to do is you could sit on your couch, you could sit on your bed, you could sit in your office chair, and just go through the motions. And sometimes when you do that without the pressures of actually doing it in the airplane, it can help you tremendously. I was talking to my aircraft mechanic the other day when I was getting some work done on MystiK, and he was chair flying because he had to move an airplane from one location to another. And he was able to fly it. His instructor felt comfortable, but he was going home back to his hotel room every night and chair flying just to get used to all of the different things. So I think that's pretty cool. And I would think that that would be much help for you. So it's okay. Okay, good. I'm glad. Can you do, I don't know what that is. It's better stay away from the wall. Okay, I will stay here. No problem. Do you guys mind just really quickly? I'm going to grab a chair so I can sit down. Otherwise, my legs are going to go to sleep this entire time. But we're having such good convo, so nobody can leave. And if you haven't already, if you could just quickly hit that thumbs up button on this live, I would really, really appreciate it. Also, I want to know, do you guys, if you look at the live chat, let me see if I can Oh, shoot, it went away. Something happened. That was really random. Okay, there we go. If you look at the live chat and you can see Marvin's super thanks at the very top, is it red or pink? Discuss and let me know, because I think it's pink, but everybody else keeps telling me it's red. I'll be right back. Don't leave. I want to see every single one of you here when I return. Just give me a second, okay? You still might actually be able to see. I'm sitting on my chair. Okay, you definitely can't see me without the shoulders. That's okay. Yeah, you guys definitely probably couldn't see me. But hello, everybody. I'm back. And I think we got everybody to stick around. So that was perfect. Thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate it. It is going to be such a beautiful day. It being obviously Father's Day weekend. And as you know, I'm very close with my father. I let my mom take my dad out for brunch this morning so that I could come and hang out with all of you. And for any of us also celebrating Father's Day, a very happy Father's Day to you. Oh, that was close. Almost knocked my computer over. Okay. Oh, yes. Now I am much more comfortable. I also think I did. Holy moly. Now this one is definitely red. So that's the difference. Always fly with plenty fuel on board, right? Absolutely, Mike. First of all, thank you so much for the huge super thanks. I appreciate it tremendously. You have no idea how much that is going to help me be able to keep flying and keep supporting the channel. So thank you very, very much. And if there is one thing that I will never, ever be guilty of, it is taking off with not enough fuel. If anything, almost every single time before I fly, I top off my tanks anyway, because things can happen, you know? You have a plan to fly to an airport or, that's a big bee. Go away, big bee. Okay, pause for dramatic effect. Well, it's possible he might come back and sting me because I had to flick him off my shirt. My apologies, everybody. If you know one thing about me, I don't do bugs. Anyways, Mike, to answer your question, yes, I always try to fly with a lot more fuel than I think I'm going to need because, like I said before, you could come in and land and some incident has occurred with another aircraft or wildlife on the ground or the clouds came out of nowhere, which tends to happen to me a lot, especially here in Texas. So we make the best of it. But thank you very much, my sock. Also, I've definitely talked to you before because your last name is very familiar. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it tremendously. Okay, everybody is saying pink, but this one is red, right? Let me know. Give me a Lightspeed headset. I've never tried a Lightspeed headset. However, I did just get my brand new Bose A30s and they are amazing. I actually got a set last year, but I broke the microphone. So when we got this new airplane, they actually sent not just me, but Pop's one too. And he was really excited because that's the first gift he's gotten, which was really, really fun. It's pink. Red is for donations. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for letting me know. It is pinkish. Okay, good. Then I am not totally losing my mind. We got a whole bunch of comments about the fact that I was running away from the bee. So I'm just trying to run through those really quickly. David says red. Kenny says hi. Well, hello, Kenny. Good to see you. Thank you again for being a member. Best wishes to your dad on Father's Day too. I will definitely let him know, Mike. Thank you very much. They are not harmless, and here's why. It's not a regular bee. I found out that they are actually, they're either wasps or hornets, or I think their hornet is like a version of wasp. I don't know. Everybody had a lot to say when I did my bees in my airplane video before I got rid of Lil Red. So whenever I see them, especially if they land on me, I really don't feel like getting stung today. That will put a damper on my day. And we're trying to have a good day. B is 1, K equals 0. I honestly think B is now 2 and K equals 0, just because I ran away from you guys to get away from the bee, and then it ended up landing on my shirt anyway. But it's gone now. And I had to flick it off, so it probably made it mad, but that's okay. We survived. Big fan of you. Thank you so much. I'm a big fan of you too. I'm glad that you are here. Brian Keith, thank you so much for the super thanks. And it also says that it is your first super on a live stream, and I am honored that you chose me. So thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it a ton. Literally everything that I make from these lives and everything that I make from you guys signing up for memberships does go directly into the airplane in some way, shape, or form. And I have to tell you, we do have the annual inspection coming up in July. So everybody keep your fingers crossed so that that doesn't make me go broke, okay? I don't think it's going to, but we'll find out together, I guess. Okay, I am definitely considering you for my private pilot. Well, hello, Dan. It is good to see you. And I am not currently instructing. However, I am going to try to figure out a way to maybe walk you guys through things a little bit more in my videos. So if that's something you'd be interested in, obviously it's a little bit different because I have 2 engines rather than just the one like I used to, but it's kind of the same concept. The only difference really is the fact that my gear goes up and I've got my prop now too, but that's okay. Pop seemed pretty nervous on that last video, LOL. I think, to be honest, he probably is, was. He's much better now because we've done a couple of flights together now. But I think he wasn't necessarily nervous. I think it's just one of those things where because he's not super comfortable flying the airplane, every little thing that, he doesn't fully understand, he's asking me about. And when I'm busy, I'm not able to answer the question in that moment, which a couple of you actually commented about on the video. A few of you, my members that got to see the video on Thursday before I posted it this morning, actually left comments about that too. So he is feeling much more confident, and we're going to do a few more flights next week just to make sure that I've really got everything down pat, got my radio calls and all that jazz too. And I will tell you, I was trying to get used to 484 Hotel Papa as a call sign. So when I'm busy and because I'm not used to it just yet, it's kind of one of those things where it sounds to me like ATC is talking to somebody else. But I'm working on it. I will get better. Don't you guys worry. Can I be a pilot with color blindness? I think there is a way for you to get around that, but what you would need to do is go and talk to an aviation medical examiner, and they can tell you exactly how bad it is and if there is a way for you to get around it. I am not an AME, so I don't want to tell you yes or no, but I would recommend reaching out if it's something you're interested in and seeing what they have to say, because they're there to help. I got stung by some wasp once and it hurt. No, everybody keeps telling me it hurts really bad, which is why I'm like, I don't really need to find out. I'll just run away. I can't wait to watch this live replay back and see what that ended up looking like, because I'm sure that's probably the fastest I've ever ran. I think it's funny though. You could try moving to California. The bees are legally fished there. That would be a wild concept. I don't really fish though. I've never been like a fishing person. I'll happily, lay out on a lawn chair and get a tan. The bee found me again. We're just going to hope he stays over there. He keeps flying this direction and then flying away. Maybe he just doesn't want to get flicked again. I don't know. But I would love to move to California at some point. I probably won't. And the reason why is because I would also really love to move to Arizona. And if I move to Arizona, then I could just get a faster airplane, or even MystiK is fast enough that I could still get to California for business deals if I needed to, or to go and visit family, or whatever that looks like. So when I got here, by the way, I actually was really excited to show you guys. I got something very special in honor of Lil Red and MystiK, and I left it in the truck. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you have to follow me on Instagram because I'm going to post it today. Motor on the plane looks like a bug, LOL. Well, yes, I can. I went the wrong way. I can actually see what you're talking about with those cow plugs, which I didn't have in Lil Red. So I am really happy that I have them here. I don't even think I ended up telling you guys this. They found a bird's nest in the tail of my airplane. Apparently that's a very common thing when you're in a hangar. I thought, if you're in a hangar, you're good to go. No, definitely not the case. So that was a pricey lesson, but that's okay, because I like to say that the bird's nest is probably built there before I ever bought the airplane, and we just didn't see it for some reason. And I think it was actually messing up my flight control surfaces just a little bit, because when I was coming into land, I was landing a little bit flat, and on my last 2 landings, I was definitely flaring more, and it was a lot easier to pull that control yoke back. So that was good. That was definitely very, very good. Am I doing Lil Red? Lil Red is actually gone, unfortunately. She did move on to a new home. But like I was telling y'all yesterday, the pilot that actually bought it is 1, an airline pilot, and 2, is actually going to be training his kids in it, and his wife is a pilot. So they're going to use it as a family airplane, which is originally what I bought the airplane for too. It was just for me to build hours and to travel with my family. So I was happy. I think Lil Red went to a really, really good home. The bee is interested in you because you're too sweet. Oh, well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. It also might be my coffee, which, by the way, no, I did not get another Starbucks today. I just used the same cup. A slice of raw onion on a bee bite will help take the pain away. That's very interesting. I have never heard that before. Why? I'm not really an onion girly, but I might have to start keeping them around just in case, especially living here in Texas. Thank you for sharing. I haven't seen very many of my members leaving any comments. Let's see. You guys have anything? 474 pilot, LOL. That would be very cool. You can fly me to different locations. Hey, maybe at some point. David Clark said, hello, what age did you get your pilot's license? I got really serious about actually becoming a pilot after I turned 21. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And then when I finished high school and I was like, okay, you know what? I know I want to travel. I know I want to, see the world and try new things and meet as many people as humanly possible. So being a flight attendant seemed like a good way to go about that. And for those of you that don't know this, Pops has actually been a pilot for 20 something years. He got his pilot license before I was even born and then never flew ever when I was growing up. Well, when he retired, he started flying more and more and he was having a blast. And so it was something that we could actually connect on and do together. And I wouldn't change it for the world. We have a blast. You should get closer to the camera. I have it actually out so you can see the airplane. You have an impersonator on Insta. There are quite a few of them, and because of how many of you have actually been reporting it, the very cool thing about that is that they did verify me. So if you see any of them, just go ahead and report it, and they should take it down pretty quickly. Hi, Kay. Could you go to Hangar A1? I am actually not at Sugarland anymore. I did come over to Houston Executive Airport because it's a lot closer to my home. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. A proud American just became a private pilot. So one, thank you for being Caviator and for joining the live. And two, thank you so very much for your support and becoming a member. Remember, your biggest perk, at least as of right now, I think we're going to be doing some private live streams and stuff later on, is that you will get to see all of my videos before anybody else, which I think is really cool. So if you have a comment or a question, odds are I'm going to actually be able to talk to you, which is going to be awesome. But welcome and thank you so much for becoming a member. I am going to be at Oshkosh. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring MystiK because I do have to take her in for annual. It is due in July. And my AMP, he's fantastic. And he's also very, very busy. So I am thinking that I'm going to have to drop it off second week of July, which of course, I don't want to risk getting to Oshkosh and weather coming in or a maintenance issue and missing my deadline for my annual inspection. But I will keep you guys posted. I can't do an airport tour right now simply because it's huge. And if I had, my golf cart or even my scooter with me, that might be a little bit different. But this airport is huge. And there's lots of hangars. And there's also a lot of private aircraft that are here. And, I don't like to put tail numbers and other people's airplanes in my videos unless they say that I can. So I will see if I can do maybe a video about that, though. Is the twin quieter because the engines are on the side? I don't know if necessarily quieter. I have to sneeze. Hold on one second. Whew. Okay, it went away. And the bee keeps coming back. I don't know if it's necessarily quieter per se. However, it does seem like a lot smoother to me when I fly because I have the two engines instead of just the one, which is pretty cool. A proud American said, you're welcome. And see, you show up in green now. So it's way easier to see your comments and see your questions. I love that. Do you still have Little Red? No, I do not. Unfortunately, I tried to figure out a way to keep both airplanes, but I also knew that if I kept both airplanes, Little Red would just sit around all the time because I'd be flying MystiK all the time. I won't be home very often. So it was just the right thing to do. But maybe someday, I'm really hoping that potentially someday I might be able to get her back. So everybody keep your fingers crossed, okay? You think a bee sting hurts? I got bit by a geese. Well, that is an interesting concept. I have never even thought about do geese have teeth? I guess that goes to show how much I know about geese. Hopefully you're okay. Peroxide and baking soda paste works great for bee and wasp stings. You guys are just giving me all the fun facts. I got to be honest with you. I'm so happy that you are telling me about this. However, I am really hoping I never have to take your advice on any of these ideas. Love the new plane. I've already ordered my MystiK t-shirt. Would love for you to fly to our airport CRW, I'm sure we can find a delicious burger or steak. Well, Delta Blues Beth, thank you so much for your support and for buying a MystiK shirt. I think I actually saw it come through yesterday, so I hope you love it. I didn't get a chance to see what color you ordered, though, so let me know. And CRW, where is that specifically? Actually, I've got my phone. Why don't we just look it up really quick? What else are we doing? We're just hanging out anyway, right? Because it sounds super familiar, so it's possible I've actually already been there, but let's go see. Okay, so I flew through West Virginia at some point, but I did not stop there. So yeah, I will definitely add that to my list. I think that would be awesome. And you guys keep giving me money for my hamburger fund, so I got to go spend somewhere, right? What would happen if a bug got in your plane while you were flying? It's actually happened quite a few times, and ultimately flying the airplane is the most important. However, if I have somebody on board that can take care of it, that is also greatly appreciated. But there's been a few times where I've had to turn on my autopilot and figure out what I was going to do. I am not a creepy crawly person of any kind. I don't care what it looks like. I don't really even like dragonflies or ladybugs. I won't hurt them, but I don't love them. So that's definitely something that I try to keep in mind as much as possible when I'm flying is airplane comes first. Even if it bites me, odds are it's not going to kill me, but I would not be thrilled about that, to say the least. I first flew in my uncle's 172 in Dalhart, Texas back in the early 60s. That is very cool. I've been to a lot of places in Texas, but I don't think I've ever been to Dalhart. Might have to check it out. My first plane was Little Red, so she was a 1968 Piper Cherokee 180. And it was really fun when I got her because originally when I bought that airplane, it was simply for me to fly it for about a year, get as many hours as I could, and try to get all of them so that I could get my ATP and go straight to the airlines. When COVID came around, it made things a lot more difficult, and a lot of the airports started closing. And that actually made things easier for me because I was able to go and, pull out one of my little Fly with K chairs like I'm sitting in right now and bring my own sandwich from home and still be able to get out of the house. And I was never around anybody. And at the time, I was around my parents and my grandparents and stuff. So I had to be really, really careful not to get them sick. So COVID was a really strange time, but I was able to build a lot of flight time and then had a couple of bad weather days, decided to make a video on TikTok. And here I am 3 years later. Pretty crazy if you think about it that way. I'll move this forward here so I can sit back a little bit. Hey, Kay, how much sooner are you setting up your approach in the Seneca versus Little Red? I will have to keep you posted. I haven't actually gotten to shoot an instrument approach in this airplane. So it's really going to just be with the same thing that I would normally do. I'll follow all of my fixes and my waypoints and such. When I come in to land, like I came in and I flew a straight in approach when I went to Houston Southwest to get all of the stuff done on the airplane and to get my avionics updated. And when I flew back, I did actually do straight in approaches for both. And I set up for my first notch of flaps and my gear down at 6 miles out, just because I was going quite a bit faster. And I was also still a little bit high because I'm getting used to, all of the configurations in my airplane. So as I get more and more comfortable with that, it'll either be more or it'll be less. But when I'm coming over the fence, my gear is down and everything is looking good. My airspeed's dropping to about 85 or so. I only use 10 degrees worth of flaps. I'm not big on flaps, to be honest, and especially when I come and land at a long runway like this. But good question. Thank you for asking. I do not have my ATP, but maybe someday. Did you ever consider going into the military for flight training? I looked into it and they told me I was too short. I looked into it when I was 21, so 5-6 years ago. I'm 5'2.5". So apparently to a lot of you, I look much taller on camera and in my photos, but I am actually a very, very short person. And they told me that they couldn't guarantee that that's what I would do if I enrolled. So I didn't. I decided to spend my money because this is what I wanted to do. Bob, thank you so much for the super thanks. That $2 is going to go straight into the gas tank, and every little bit helps. So I really, really appreciate it. And I know times are tough, so it just means the absolute world to me. And thank you very much. You're awesome. We're also celebrating your 3rd super on a live stream, so I'm honored. Thank you. I'm in Georgetown, Texas. Come on down. I think I've actually been to Georgetown before. What are the aptitude tests or qualifying examinations involved in aviation college to gain admission? I didn't go to an aviation college. I actually went through a fast track program. So I enrolled in a 12-month course, and I was very fortunate to have a schedule where I was able to be at the airport pretty much all day, every single day. And so I got extra flight time in. Sometimes I'd have to postpone my flight till later in the afternoon because of weather. And because of that, I was able to graduate 4 months early. So it was a very, very quick process for me. And it was also very expensive, but it was definitely worth it. And there wasn't really any tests. They just take you up and, make sure you're not going to start bawling your eyes out. And as long as you don't do that, you should be good to go. Hi, Kay, loved yesterday's vid. Yay, I'm so happy to hear that. So fun fact, yesterday's vid, I think everybody is kind of referring to one of the shorts that I did. A lot of you don't actually know this, but I do make short content as well. And that's usually where I get to have more fun and come up with creative ideas and stuff. So when you ask me questions in my comments, I put that in like a little note section on my phone to come up with shorts ideas, because obviously when I'm flying the airplane and I'm doing a long form, a 30, 40-minute video, I'm really focused on showing you how I'm flying the airplane and just trying to kind of chat and have a good conversation. I'm not using that as a teaching moment. And so the shorts are a good way for me to do that. So if you're not watching my shorts, maybe you should check them out. They're a little bit more fun. They're a little bit more silly, but they are still really fun. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Last Poet. Let's see. How many horsepower? Oh, your comment went away. Hold on. Can you send it again? Okay, this whole thing just updated, so I just lost a whole bunch of these comments. I can see all my members' comments, though. Okay, do you know anyone that is completely blind? I do not. Hi from South Carolina, Greenwood, Kay. Hi, David. Good to see you. Hi, Kay. You should fly to Ocean County Airport in Toms River, New Jersey. We have very famous beaches and boardwalks here. I love a good beach. Just going to tell you. It's part of the reason why I love going to Florida so much, is because there's like multiple different beaches. You can just never get tired of it. I have considered moving to Florida, but I don't want to get in a position where, because I live there, I start taking advantage of the fact that I can just walk over to the beach. So that is what it is. It is all good. Really enjoyed the flight with your dad earlier. Yay, I'm so happy to hear that. It was really fun. And for the next video, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Again, for my members, you'll actually get to see it before anybody else. But for the next video, I was actually going to go and shoot some practice approaches and try out my avionics and stuff. VFR, of course, with Pops on board. So I had a safety pilot. And these clouds just came out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, it was bright blue skies. It was sunny. It was going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day to fly. And we take off, and all of a sudden, it was like doom was descending on top of the airplane. And so Tower and everybody else was still reporting sky clear, VFR, no problem. So I get on with Tower frequency as we're departing, and I was like, Executive Tower, Seneca 484 Hotel Papa, do you have an update on the weather? And he comes back on and he says, yeah, scattered at 2,500 and scattered at 3,000. Oh, hold on. Broken at 2,500. So if you don't know, scattered is just a few clouds throughout the sky. When you're VFR, which is visual flight rules, you just need to see and avoid those. And then you have your minimums that you need to follow so that you don't ever run into an airplane that is flying in the clouds. So you stay far enough away. Well, when they said that it was broken, that is considered a layer of clouds. And because I wasn't on an instrument flight plan and I didn't want to pick one up, I wanted to stay visual. I had to scrap most of my plan from that entire flight and just go straight to Houston Southwest. So you'll actually get to see that whole process and me talking through everything and conferring with my co-pilot, if you will, which was Pops again. And ultimately deciding that that was our best course of action. And the funniest part about that is a lot of the people in the area were doing the exact same thing. So we were having to dodge traffic left and right. It's going to be a great video. I'm really excited for you guys to be able to see that process that I was going through, because that's not something I get to show very often. And that will be the video that goes live next Saturday. And then for my members, of course, you will have access to it on Friday, if not earlier. I'm excited about this one. So we might get it done even earlier, but it's going to be pretty cool. I just downloaded TikTok so I can watch your shorts on there as well. Well, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. That is absolutely amazing. Let's see. Both you and Pops are able to fly the new plane. No, Pops is not a multi-engine airplane flyer. So I'm trying to convince him to get his multi at some point. Hopefully he will. Everybody keep their fingers crossed so I can take a break every now and then. But for right now, he will just kind of be a safety pilot that I can have on board to help me with radio calls or help me with navigation, and obviously help me figure out my new avionics, because I need to focus on the airplane. I am getting my autopilot figured out, and I am getting electric trim installed, which is going to make make it that much easier to fly low and slow or fly a little bit higher and not have to worry as much, because I was definitely getting off on my altitude by about 50 to 100 feet. So that was annoying to say the least. But we fly so much faster, it happens in a split second. So that's okay. Delta Blues, Beth, thank you so much. You are the absolute sweetest. You bought a t-shirt and I didn't see your comment. I'm looking for it again, but I never saw it come through. What color shirt did you buy? And that will definitely help MystiK stay in the sky. So I really appreciate the super thanks very, very much. You are awesome. I'm looking for your comment. I want to know what color you bought. I haven't seen it yet, though. I'm still looking. Sounds interesting for us, but hectic for you, LOL. It is. And that's what I think is so cool about making these videos is, you know, everybody, they just kind of assume you get in the airplane, it's the same old thing every single time. Every single flight is different in some way, shape, or form, whether it's radios or, you know, like on one of my training flights, for example, came in with my instructor, Eric, whom you guys actually already got to meet on a couple. Excuse me, I have the hiccups on a couple of those videos, and tower was gone. I don't know if he took a break or if they had a problem or something, but we were coming in, and obviously we're coming into a Class Delta airport. So we needed to let them know we were coming and establish contact, and we're not getting anything. And then we're hearing all these other pilots that are also making these radio calls and they're not getting anything. So we called Unicom, and then they're like, yeah, we don't know. Tower's not there. And we're like, okay, well, you know, that's cool. So then we were able to just go boop right into a untowered airport configuration. So then us pilots were all just talking to one another, and we're coming in on short final, and I'm feeling awesome about my landing. And then tower comes back on and says, hey, everybody, when you get a second, check in with me. So Eric goes, Seneca 484 Hotel Papa, short final. And then everybody else did it too. But it was cool because had I been filming that flight, that's yet another instance on something I didn't expect to happen on one of my flights. And it was really cool to be able to learn from that. So I think going forward, anytime I fly, I'm going to at least try to set up one camera and my audio. So if we do have instances like that happen, I can at least share some of what that looks like. Because like I said, every single flight is different. Let's see. Kay, your spinner has a crack at 10 o'clock. Love your work. Well, Walter Priori, I really hope I said your last name. First of all, thank you so much for the super thanks. It helps tremendously, and I really do appreciate it. And thank you for letting me know. If it's the one I'm thinking about, we actually got it inspected during the pre-buy, and they said that's okay, but we are going to be taking a much larger look at everything for the annual inspection, which is why I don't think I'm going to be able to bring the airplane over to Oshkosh. It's just going to depend on how long it takes. I'm really hoping next week that the weather will hold off and I can go and do like multiple flights. One, so I can get more comfortable in the airplane and I can maximize the time that I have with the airplane before I get ready to go to Oshkosh and the airplane goes in for annual. But Walter, that is going to help. So thank you very, very much. And thanks for letting me know. Oh, I love that. Hi, JC Grimes. Please tell your mom, Debbie, I say hello. I think that is absolutely amazing. And if I ever come to West Virginia, I will try to let y'all know. Do you teach new pilots? Not currently. At some point, I might get back into the instruction game. However, right now, I'm just really focused on learning my airplane as best I can. And of course, trying to make as good of videos for you guys as I possibly can. So... is aviation your full-time occupation? Yes, it is. Ah, there it is. Thank you for putting the hearts. It was much easier to find this time, Beth. And I'm glad that you got the coral color. That's the one color I haven't gotten yet, but I bought a whole bunch of them so I could try them out, and I'm really excited about them. So I will get the coral one, and then we can match. I think that'll be so fun. Where's your favorite place to fly? David, I would say my favorite place to fly is probably Florida just in general, because there's just so many incredible options and beautiful beaches, and the water is gorgeous and the sun is like almost always shining. I actually lived in Florida for about 3 months when I was going through flight instructor training, and I loved it. I thought it was absolutely epic. My only thing is I don't know if I could move there because, again, I don't want to start taking advantage of just being able to go to the beach every day. I also don't think I would, but I don't know. We'd have to see. But that's probably one of my favorite places to fly. And then a few years ago, before I actually got into filming for YouTube and making a lot of these videos, I actually flew Low Red, my little Piper Cherokee 180, all the way from Houston to San Diego. And from San Diego, I took my grandpa to Catalina Island. And that was really, really fun. So the next time I'm over in California, I definitely want to do that again. if you don't know Catalina Island, you're landing on a cliff and the runway is sloped. So you're really hoping that the winds are blowing some kind of way so you can land with an upsloping runway rather than a downsloping runway. And it's just really, really, really a cool place to be. So let's see. What would be the requirements to fly overseas? I have to look into it. I know that because I have my FCC radio license, I can already fly internationally, which is pretty cool. And with this airplane, I am going to be planning trips to like, Bahamas, maybe Cabo. I just have to look at all of the options and then find out obviously what those requirements look like. But from everything that I've had all of my other, pilot friends telling me, flying to the Bahamas actually isn't that big of a deal. So once I do that and we make that video, I want to figure out a way to kind of talk through what those requirements were. So I will answer your question, but it might be a couple months from now. Thank you so much. I just heard her say, oh my God, Kay just gave me a shout out. She's jumping up and down right now. I love that. That makes me so happy. Do you carry a first aid bag on board in case of an emergency? Yes, we do. It really just has the basic necessities because if there was a real emergency, odds are, especially in this airplane, I'm going to be able to get to an airport pretty quickly. But that being said, it's always good to be prepared. So we've got Band-Aids and we've got, those cleaning, sanitizing wipes and all that jazz too. I would love a pink one, but they are all too small. Oh, I'm sorry, Samantha. I'm trying to think what sizes. It should be all sizes. I will take a look at that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, I am completely blind. Oh, I had no idea. I guess I do know somebody then. No wonder you asked that question. Well, Dan, I already thought you were awesome. Now I think you're even cooler. So that is very, very cool. Hopefully, oh, you leave comments every once in a while because you read the comments to figure out what I was talking about when you can't see it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you told me that. Now I can be on the lookout for your comments too and try to explain everything when you ask me some questions. I do watch Jimmy's World. I'm actually good friends with Jimmy. I'm hoping to meet up with him when we go to Oshkosh if we can make it work. She's not stopping. I wish you could see how happy she is. That makes me very happy. It is Pops in the house moderating. Actually, I'm in a swimming pool. Nobody likes a little bragger. I'm over here at the airport with my new bestie. Pops, I don't think you can be my best friend anymore. I think MystiK has replaced you. Apologies. But I will tell you, because it's Father's Day weekend, whatever you say goes. So if we're still besties, that's fine. People fly from Florida to the Bahamas all the time. That's what I'm saying. So it must not be that difficult. I just have to look into it a little bit more. Brent, thank you so much for the huge super thanks. I appreciate it tremendously. That is going to help me tremendously. You said, hello from Nunca, Michigan. I just admire your attention to detail with that checklist. Your details for safety is outstanding. Hello from Nunca, Michigan. I admire. Oh, it did it twice. That was so strange. Well, thank you very much. One, I appreciate the super thanks. And thank you for noticing my attention to detail. I find it funny because when I used to do my lives and my videos and stuff on TikTok, I used to get berated for how much I go through my checklist. And now it's one of the things you guys love most about me, which I love most about too, because obviously safety is my number one concern. The cameras, as much as I love you guys and I want to create the best content I possibly can, the cameras come second to everything else that's going on in the airplane. So thank you for giving me the shout out. And thank you again for the huge super thanks. You were totally, totally awesome. Only 2X is the largest, I think. I will look into that because I wanted it to be available to everybody. So thank you for letting me know, Samantha. I apologize. Kay made the Bahamas from Marathon, Florida in my 6. Good flight in the right weather. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Brian. I will definitely be waiting for a good weather day. I don't care if that means I got to hang out in Florida for a few extra days. Oh, the torture. Just kidding. Awesome. Give Pops our best. He helps you so much. I think he's actually on here, Samantha, if you want to say hi. He did just pop in for a second. He shows up as a different color for me, but I don't know if he does that for you too. Aviation 101 did his multi-training on MystiK. I saw that. He actually did his check ride in it too, which was interesting. Which MystiK shirt is your fave? I want to get one, but I'm very indecisive. Oh, okay. Skyliosis. Also, I really like your username. That is so unique. I would say just because this airplane is blue, one of the blue colors for sure, especially the bright blue one, like kind of like the color I'm wearing now, but I think it's a little brighter. It's almost like an aquamarine shade. That's definitely my fave. And it's the one that they didn't have available in my size because I wear a smaller and extra small and they didn't have either. So I will be ordering that as soon as it comes back in stock. But that color is really pretty. And then, of course, pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors. So thank you for asking. Let's see here. Hi, Kay, love the channel. Thank you so much, Roland. Does the torque pull the aircraft to the left? No, it doesn't actually. I do have to use a little bit of right rudder when I come into land, but that could also be from the winds. But because I have counter-rotating props, I don't really have that problem, which is awesome. I second that comment on your attention to detail. Thank you, Rob. That's awesome. Into the MystiK should be your new favorite song. I do like that song. A lot of people don't think I know the song itself, but I've heard it a few times because I have a very wide variety and taste in music, which is pretty cool. Ava, okay, already saw that one. Hello, Pops. Happy Father's Day to you. Yay! Happy Father's Day to Pops. And to anybody else that is on here that is a father, happy Father's Day to you as well. I don't fly, but I love your channel. I really love how you share your love of flying with us. So thank you for what you do, Colin. Well, you're so welcome, Colin. And thank you for taking a minute to show the appreciation. That makes me very, very happy. Pop shows up in blue because he's a mod. Okay, can you guys see him in blue too? I have a daughter that's a pilot, in case none of you knew that. That's the best gift. Oh, I guess that means I don't have to get him a gift after all. More money for me to spend on MystiK. I like it. Thanks, Pops. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. Excellent, everybody. Well, quite a few of my members have been leaving comments, so it is so good to see you all. Again, if you want to become a member, all you have to do is click the link in the description of this live. It does help support me, and of course, to give back to you, you get access to my videos before anybody else, which I think is pretty cool. It's probably my favorite perk I've ever come up with because it does give me the ability to get your feedback and see your comments for sure. Because as you guys have probably noticed, I get hundreds of comments on every video I post. And it does get really hard to keep up with them, which is why I've started doing more and more lives, because I feel like this is the best way for me to actually be able to sit and chat with you, which I think is really cool. She'll never have to worry about having a beekeeper for a son-in-law. Oh, no, absolutely not going to be a concern. No. Blue, and he carries a wrench. Oh my gosh, he does. I didn't even notice that. That is so funny. I was looking at all of the pictures and I thought maybe he just put an emoji on his name for some reason. I'm going to drink some of my melted coffee now. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of sitting. So I think we should stand up and walk around the airplane. They never came and closed the hangar, but I've got a nice little breeze going on here. So I'm kind of a happy little camper. The mod thing is also why Pops has a spanner icon. Oh, that's kind of cool. Do you have a Flight with K sticker on MystiK? MystiK? I don't know what I just said. MystiK. And the answer is no, because I am trying to figure out what I want to do. I might actually be looking into potentially doing a custom wrap on this airplane. And if I end up doing that, I want to do the name MystiK, obviously, but I also want to be able to do my name because I want people to be able to come over and say hello and not have to rack their brain on if my name is Kay or Kate. Quite a few of you call me Kate in your comments, and I'm just going to chalk it up to autocorrect because I know you guys would never do that to me intentionally. But anyway, here is the airplane. As you can see, she is beautiful. She is Grace. She is not Miss United States. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's fine. It is what it is. I really, really love this, though. I'm actually going to be putting a different version of this, but a lot of you, if you've ever wanted to become a pilot and maybe you just don't have a ton of money and you need to stay home, Pilot Institute is a great way to start learning from your couch, which I think is totally cool. But they've been a supporter of mine for a very long time. So one of the first things that I did was put those stickers on. And you can see it if you look closely on the wing cam on next week's video, because I just put them in. Oh, she is beautiful. Oh, thank you. I know you're talking about the plane. Don't worry. There is the cockpit. So you can see I have everything turned off. We were able to accomplish our updates yesterday, which was very cool. Because if the weather looks good next week, I'm thinking I might go, I don't like that angle because of that glare. I'm thinking I might fly over to South Padre Island. And then from there, I might actually fly to San Antonio. And then from there, I might try to see if I can get out of Texas so I can really put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and see what this baby can do. I've only done some local flights, so I haven't really gotten to do any of those long cross countries like I used to do in Little Red. Robbie here, on average, what does an annual cost on a twin? I'm hoping it's not going to be any more than like 10 grand, but once I get it back, obviously, and I pay the bill, I will definitely let you know. I don't actually know yet, but I'm really hoping, because we already did some fixes and we already got some changes done and stuff during the pre-buy and when I first brought the airplane back, I'm hoping that there's not going to be a whole lot more that they're going to find. Let's see. What am I using for flight planning? Is that what you're asking me, Mike? Right now, I am still using my iPad. I do use ForeFlight. However, my new airplane is actually going to make it so I don't need my iPad, which is pretty cool. I'm really big on redundancy and situational awareness, so I will probably keep it with me, but I'm going to be able to show you how I'm going to be flight planning and stuff just using the equipment that is in my airplane, which I think is awesome. Aw, Ross, thank you so much for the super thanks, and thank you for the congratulations. I love this airplane already so much, and it definitely helps that now that I'm feeling more comfortable, I'm enjoying my flights a lot more too. You know, when I went back into full-on train mode, dang it. Yeah. Hold on one sec, guys. Dang it. Well, I'm pretty sure I just got stung by that bee. That did not feel very good. Anyways, we'll worry about it later. Sorry about that. If anything, this live replay is going to be very interesting. Anyway, now that I am feeling much more comfortable and confident in this airplane, I'm enjoying my flights a lot more too. So I think that that is pretty darn awesome. Anyway, it's all good. I'm totally fine. Don't worry. Oh, what airspeed am I using? I haven't done a flight plan on this airplane yet. So when I do that, I will actually show you guys what that looks like too. Yeah, I am not allergic, which is good, but he definitely, yeah, that did not feel very good. But I'm fine. Don't worry about me. No worries. At any point, if I need to, I will obviously go and get it checked out. I did have to step on him because he was not a regular bee, but I'm good. Don't worry. At the end of the day, this is how much I love you guys. I'm sitting in a hangar. I know my life is in danger. All right, that's a little bit dramatic, but I'm going to make the best of it. So it's totally cool. You put K below the pilot's window and the MystiK on the sides of the hood or near the tail number. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, so that, you know, when you can see it on the wing cam, you can always see my name and you can always see MystiK's name. I think that would be really cool. Do the peroxide and baking soda, it helps. I think I will when I get home. I might have actually gotten away with just barely. I think I swatted them away pretty quickly. There is a little bit of a Welsh building, but it's all good. Don't worry about me. Everybody is fine. I think the bee wants to take you out on a date. I think the bee is no longer going to be able to do that. Let's see. I'm really glad that you guys got a kick out of watching that. I almost dropped the computer, but it's totally cool. We'll make it work. You took one for the team, True Soldier K. Heck yeah, look at me go. I'm glad you guys got a kick out of it. I mean, honestly, if there was one thing that you haven't ever gotten to see, it's me get bit or stung. So, you know, this live was special in a lot of ways, I guess. But thank you to everybody for all of the support on it. I appreciate it. Regular bees do. The other versions do not, which is why I had to step on it, because it was definitely still moving after I swatted it off of me. But to each their own. Apparently my old flight instructor knew you back in flight school. Well, that's interesting. I met a lot of people when I was at flight school. I'm not going to fire up the engines today because it is Father's Day weekend, and I came over here to drop some stuff off and to make sure that the updates and everything were done on the airplane like we came in to do yesterday. Plus, I just wanted to be able to hang out with y'all. I really enjoy doing these lives, and I just find them much more entertaining to do at the airport because you just never know what's going to happen. You know, Kay might get stung by a bee. Kay might show up, and 2 seconds later, they tell her that they're going to pull all the airplanes out. Basically, everything has been against us today, and yet somehow 372 beautiful people have made it to this live that have hung out with me, and I just couldn't ask for a better Caviator family. You guys are awesome. Have you flown in bad weather? David, I have flown in bad weather before, and I got out of it very, very quickly. And it wasn't even bad necessarily. I could just see that it was going to get bad, and so I made the right decision and just landed. Just like I talked about yesterday, I would rather 9 times out of 10, I would rather always, actually 10 times out of 10, I would rather be on the ground looking up at the sky and being like, darn, I wish I was flying, rather than being in the sky and looking down on the ground and being like, darn, I wish I hadn't flown. And that's important to keep in mind too. How much longer is the checklist on MystiK than it was on Low Red? It's not that much longer per se. There's just different things to do. So a couple of things are kind of wrapped into one in this airplane. And then my run-up checklist is a little bit longer just because I do have to do, you know, my prop checks, my feather tests and all that jazz. I have to do my fuel cross feed checks. But now that I'm getting the hang of it and I'm used to looking at the checklist and I'm used to everything that I'm supposed to be looking at, definitely makes things a lot easier. No, it is an airplane. He's going away. Here, you guys want to see? Can you see him? There he goes. Bye. Hopefully you guys were able to see him. Hard for me to tell. Oh, welcome to Private Pilot Bob. We have another member. I think you were the third member who has joined on this live. I was hoping to see if we could get 10 members every single live, because that gives me more people to talk to when I'm just at home or if I'm on the road and stuff. But thank you very much to Bob for becoming a member. Remember, you actually get to see the video before everybody else. All of my members get the video at least 24 hours in advance. So next Saturday, when you get to go and see how I made all of these life-changing decisions and, you know, avoided weather and all that jazz, you'll be one of the first. So I think that's very, very cool. Every time I see a plane flying over in Cyprus, I now look to see if it is your plane, LOL. Randy, that makes me so happy. I want to figure out a way to put like K or Fly with K or something underneath the wing so that when I fly over y'all, you can actually be like, oh my gosh, okay, that is K. So I'm still looking into that too. That would make me so happy. There's a lot of yelling going on over there. I think they're just having a grand old time. Thanks for the great answer, Kay. You're so welcome. Like your videos? Well, thank you very much. I like Lakeland, Florida. Would you ever consider flying in Europe? I'm in the UK, just wondering how different the training and approaches are. I would love to be able to fly in Europe at some point. I probably could get there in this airplane. It would just take a long time. But if I ever end up going to Europe for like a vacation or something, I will 1000% go and try to find a flight school or a pilot friend that will take me up for a flight. So one, I can make a video for you guys. And two, I can fly in as many countries as possible. I think that would be really, really cool. I have a question for you. How often do you have to fill up your airplane? I choose to fill up my airplane pretty much every single time that I'm going to fly, because even though I do have the long range tank, so this airplane carries 130 gallons, 123 gallons that are actually usable. And when I lean it out correctly, I'm usually going to burn between 9 and 11 gallons per hour in each tank. So it's going to give me, when I say each tank, by the way, I'm talking about for each engine. So it's going to give me about 5 or so hours of flight time, about 1,000 miles in range. And I like to have more fuel than I actually need, especially with this airplane. Weight and balance is a lot easier to do because this airplane can carry way more weight than Lil Red could, which is pretty awesome. Let's see here. Okay, thanks for the live chat again. Always a pleasure to watch and listen to your joyous attitude and delivery. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining, and thank you again for being a member. It makes me so happy. What was the hardest thing for you to master in flight school? I don't think there was anything that was quote unquote hard. I think what took the most practice was definitely landings. For some reason, and this is a pretty common occurrence, it was really hard to tell when I needed to flare. And for those of you that don't know what that actually means, I know quite a few of you are pilots or were at one point, but for those of you who don't know, when you're coming into flare, you're pulling that control yoke back and you're trying to keep that pressure off the nose wheel. So you want to land on what we call our mains, which is our side wheels first, and then you gently let go of that pressure on your control yoke. I have the hiccups again. You let go of that pressure on your control yoke, and that gently allows your nose to come down. And it was really hard to figure out when I needed to put in that little extra back pressure to flare to land softly on the runway. And I would either do it too late, where I would land flat, or sometimes hit the nose first, which you really don't want to do, or I would do it too early, and I'm basically just trying to float down to the runway, and that can cause you to bounce or do something called porpoising. And that was my hardest thing to master, but it just took practice. And once I started practicing more and more, I remember one day I went up and just for whatever reason, I had figured it out. And I think part of the reason why is because I watched this YouTube video, and I can't remember his name, but I watched this YouTube video on how to land an airplane better. And he said, look down to the end of the runway, the very end of the runway. And when you can no longer see the side of the runway in your peripheral vision, that's when you want to induce that flare and pull that control yoke back. And maybe that's what helped me. I don't know, but this is not an instruction. That's just me answering questions. Talk to your instructor if you're having difficulties landing and see if that's what they would recommend too, okay? Just in case. Wear 6-inch heels will help your height, LOL. I am not a heels girly. If I wear heels, it is for a very, very special occasion, And I'm not really big on that, to be honest with you. I am the kind of person that I will throw on tennis shoes and I will go walk 5 miles with you to go to dinner rather than dress up. That is a very, very rare thing for me. Although for those of you that are following me on Instagram, you did actually get to see that firsthand because I posted my pictures from when I was in Cabo and I was forced to dress up for those dinners, which I think is kind of funny. Great live episode. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Dawn. And thank you again so much for being a member. You have no idea how much that helps. Aviation motivation. First of all, I am obsessed with your username. Congratulations on your new beautiful bird. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Do you have to sit the right pilot seat and or does a single PPL exam cover both? If you're talking about being able to sit in the right seat versus the left seat, you can sit in the right seat. Most people won't because there's really no need. I learned to fly from the right seat because I became an instructor. So like, for example, when I would fly Little Red and stuff, if I was looking at my checklist or drinking some water or something, because obviously Pops is a pilot as well, and he could fly that airplane, from time to time, he would hand fly it or just watch it with the autopilot on and stuff from the right seat. And he didn't have to do a specialty check ride for that. So hopefully that answers your question. All requirements I got for check ride, but life kicked me hard and doesn't look at it finishing to get PPL. How do I cope knowing that? Thanks, Robbie. Well, Robbie, I am very sorry to hear that. What I will tell you is even if it doesn't happen now, keep that motivation and keep that inspiration. Whatever is pushing you to want to become a pilot, don't let go of it, because life can change on a dime. And I understand that. If things happen and sometimes they're just out of our control, but if it's something you truly love to do, keep up on your knowledge, because it may be a year from now, it may be 10 years from now, it may be when you retire. I'm not sure how old you are. It's still a dream that you can hold on to and potentially still accomplish later in life. I like to tell people I never think anybody is too old to become a pilot. I just think as long as you really, really want to do it and you have the confidence to do it and you stay prepared, it's still an option for you down the line. And try to keep that in mind, because it still could happen for you. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. Dumb question. How do you become a member? Matt Free 4. First of all, I love the fact that you started it. There are no dumb questions when you talk to me, I promise. And it's actually really easy. All you have to do is click the link in my description of this video and it should take you to the join page. I know there is also another way to join, and it should just be on like the bottom of your screen. Obviously my setup is a little bit different, but hopefully that will help. And it's also possible that if somebody else becomes a member before I jump off here, you can click their little green thing at the top and it might let you become a member that way too. But that's only if we get another one. I'm not sure. Hopefully that works. I don't know for sure. And that's why I put the link in the description of the lives just in case. Come visit us at Auburn University School of Aviation in Auburn, Alabama. Nice runway, 6,000-foot long runways. Well, that would be cool. I actually thought about going to Auburn University when I was going through high school. It just didn't end up working out. How much does it cost to become a pilot? I am obsessed with aviation. Congratulations on the new bird. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. I think because of the rise in insurance and gas prices right now, you're probably looking at between $9,000 and $11,000. You might be able to find it for cheaper if you can find an instructor that doesn't cost as much, or if you can find a flight club that only makes you pay like a certain amount for every hour you fly in their airplane. When I went to flight school, I paid a lot of money because I went through an accelerated flight school program. So with interest and everything else that I had to accumulate during that time, it was about $90,000 to $95,000. So it is expensive, but it's definitely worth it. And keep in mind, that was for all of my certs and ratings that I currently hold, except for my high performance. I got that one all by myself when I bought this airplane. But hopefully that answers your question. And if you have any more, definitely let me know. My PPL cost $10K and some change. Okay, so yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, yay, we got one. Okay, hopefully that will help. So hold on one quick second here. A huge shout out to Mr. Jahat. I really hope I said your name right. Thank you so much for becoming a private pilot and for not only being a part of the Caviator community, but for also becoming a member. That $5 a month really does help support me a ton, keeps me flying. And in return, you get the videos before everybody else. So you get to know what's going on. And when I have crazy stuff happen, like I told you about the other, a little while ago, actually, about my flight the other day, that video will be up next Saturday. You get to watch it on Friday. Pretty awesome. So hopefully that is Matt, I don't know. Like I said, you might have to click on it and see if it works. If it doesn't, you'll have to go through the link, but hopefully that helps. So thank you very much to Mr. Jahat. You helped a lot. That's awesome. Oh, and we got another one, Daniel Polvaltzer. Oh, I'm working really hard on these names today. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Like I said, you have those perks as well. And the really cool thing about that perk for me anyways, is I get to see your guys' comments on the videos beforehand. So like, for example, when I posted the video that went live this morning for everybody else, I was able to go and respond to about 20 comments from my members before anybody else. So I didn't miss them, which I think is really, really cool. But thank you to everybody who has become a member today and that continues to be a member. You have no idea how much it helps. Do you have your tail wheel certification? What did you think of that experience? I have flown a tail wheel, but I do not have my certification for it. And part of that is because I got my multi-engine rating when I was going through flight school because it was a requirement. I did not get my MEI because it wasn't, and I didn't want to sit around and wait for 8 weeks for a check ride. And because I don't have a tail wheel airplane that I can currently fly, it just didn't make much sense for me to get it yet. At some point, I do want to, because I want to get as many certs and ratings and fly as many different aircraft as I possibly can. And I might have a few different aircraft videos in the works for you guys. So everybody has to be excited about it. It's going to be awesome. But thank you for asking. How have you and your family been doing lately, and how's the weather in Houston, and how's MystiK? Well, hi, Sam. Thank you for all of your questions. I've been great. The family has been amazing. The weather has been hit or miss because I'm not currently flying IFR. I am really trying to just get used to my airplane and not have any external pressures or any stress when I'm flying. So I haven't been doing a lot of cross-country flying yet, but I am hoping to be able to start doing some of that next week. How are you doing? Thank you again for asking. I'm glad that you're here. Have a wonderful time and have a great day. Thank you, Kay. You're welcome, David. Thank you for joining. Hopefully I will see you again next Friday. I'm Jim. Oh, well, thank you very much for letting me know. Welcome to the Kviator members exclusive family. I'm very happy to have you. Shout out to Dad. Happy Father's Day to him. He lost weight. He did. So we've been doing a lot more walks and we have been working out, which is really hard to do this time of year in Houston because it is just so dang hot. But we've been eating healthier and we've just been living a healthier lifestyle. And I'm glad that you noticed. Hopefully he's on here and he saw that too. That'll make his whole day. Have a one. Oh, I saw that one. What's that plane behind you? This is my airplane. So this is the 1981 Piper Seneca 3. This is MystiK. Let's get up and see if I can show y'all. Ooh, and my computer is getting hotter by the second. So that's where I was in my cute little Fly with K chair. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway at some point where I give away some of those chairs. But this is the aeroplane. I don't know why I said it that way. We're just going to go with it. It's fine. But here she is in all her beautiful glory. 484 Hotel Papa. And I've got the panel turned off and everything, but I did open up the door. I was going to sit inside there, but it's going to get hot really quick if I go in there. But we could go sit in the back if y'all want to, at least for a little bit. Sibling Creature, you did it again. Thank you so much for gifting. That is amazing. You gifted 5 more memberships. You are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad that you are a member yourself. And I literally am never going to forget your username, which makes me very happy. Making sure that bee is actually dead. It's dead. We're good. I'm going to get out of the way. But thank you very much for doing that, especially for doing that for other Kviators. I think it's all really cool when we all can just support one another and figure out a way to work together. It makes me very happy. Okay, I'm going to get in here. And I finally found my sunglasses. I couldn't remember where I put them earlier. Okay. Like I said before, it's gonna get hot quick, but at least I'm in the airplane and this lighting is actually way better in here too. So that's pretty cool. Now I can't tell. Oh, there they are. Okay. So we now have a Dermal that was gifted a membership by Sibling Creature, Johnny Hag, Jimmy B, and Sandy M. Thank you so much. Yay. I'm so happy we have new members. We have more people that are just going to be able to watch the videos first, which is just so exciting to me. I just love it. And a huge shout out to Sibling Creature and to all of you. Everybody say thank you, Sibling Creature. Oh, and we got a couple more. Brent Darrow, welcome to Private Pilot. And same to Nicola Booth. I love that you guys have little sunglasses. It's way easier to spot your comments and your questions, which is awesome. But yay, we have more members. I'm so excited. I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. And that's why I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the giveaways and stuff, because I want to do one that's open to everybody. But of course, I also want to do one that is for my members, because even just the $5 a month helps tremendously. So thank you to everybody. Yay! Everybody is saying thank you. We love it. We love it. The cruise speed in this airplane is going to be about 180, 190 until I figure it all out. And then I'm going to see if I can bump that up a little bit without burning too much extra fuel. Love the channel. So happy for the twin. Thank you, Barry. I'm so happy that you love it. That makes me so happy. What is your typical cost versus benefit analysis when deciding which Form A? Which, if you're asking about which airplane I bought, I knew that I wanted to start building some multi-engine time, which is why I looked into buying a multi-engine. I looked at a lot of different ones, but I needed to have a higher weight capacity because I want to be able to fly my entire family. And I also really wanted to find an airplane with counter-rotating props to take away that critical engine aspect that a lot of other... There's another bug over there that a lot of other multi-engines have. So I even looked at a Comanche. It was just too small for what I needed it. Yay, we got another one. Robert Christian, welcome to Private Pilot. Look at all of these new members. This makes me so happy. I look over here at the live chat and it's just filled with green and red and pink, and it just makes me so happy. Yay. Oh, what just happened? Go away. Go away. Uh-oh. I think my computer is overheating because now I can't read your guys' comments. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. Don't worry. We're good. Gifting memberships. Wow. I know. And that's the second time they've done that. I think that is so, so cool. I love planes. See you later. I got to go. Well, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed today's live. Let's see. Hey, do you work or job with the plane, or you just used it for recreational? Technically both. This is my personal airplane where I'm able to, you know, like fly with my family and fly with friends and stuff. But because I do make videos for YouTube and I do make money off of that, I guess technically you could say that this is both. And that is really just because the videos on YouTube help me afford to be able to continue to fly. So every single time you guys watch a video, especially if you watch the video all the way through, it helps me a ton as well, which I really appreciate it. Have you ever flown to in Bay, Ohio? If not, I recommend it. I don't think I have ever flown over to Ohio just in general. I'm trying to think. Well, I have. I did when I left. I went to Findlay, Ohio, when I left Oshkosh last year because I was on my way to go and hang out with a friend of mine you guys may or may not know called Jason from Rebuild Rescue. And I was able to do some filming with him too, but we spent the night in Findlay, Ohio because it was hot and I was tired and I didn't want to fly anymore. So that was really, really fun. But that's the only part of Ohio I think I've ever been to. So I might have to go and check it out. Thanks so much for the gift membership. Yay! We love gift memberships. I think that is so, so cool. Did Dad help out with the purchase? Of course. He's been a part of my company since I started it. So we do everything together, and we are, you know, a third, and a third for the cost of everything, which is pretty cool. Great explanation of flair. Not a pilot, but I love the way you describe everything in plain English. Kudos, Kay. Well, thank you so much. I try really hard to figure out a way to tailor my questions to both audiences, because I do know I have a ton of people that will join that have no idea what I'm talking about, and they just like to fly with me. And then I also have some people who will join that know exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't want to ever get to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, she talks to us like we're 5. We're all adults here. We all know what we're doing, but I try to figure out how I can keep everybody happy as much as possible anyway. Texas summer is so brutal. The heat, the rain, and the bugs. OMG, I hate the bugs. Me too. I got a little welt, but I think I'm okay. I think it's going to be just fine. All of the redness went away, so we're good to go. No big deal. When are you planning, to fly to the East Coast? Hello from Norfolk, Virginia. Well, hello. Thank you for being here. Probably sometime soon. I have a lot of different plans to fly to a lot of different places. I have a list of my wants versus this is more of a kind of weekender trip kind of thing. And once I can figure out what my schedule looks like for the rest of this year and going into next year, then that'll really be able to kind of help me make decisions on when I'm going to fly, where I'm going to fly, how long I'm going to be able to stay places. And I really want to start going, when I fly to places, I really want to be able to actually go and do things that town or that city or that state is known for. I've got plans to fly to a winery with my friend Allie. A lot of you guys have actually already met her because of the video that we did where we flew to San Antonio together. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be flying with my mom over to New Orleans. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then, of course, I'll be doing Florida. I'll be going to visit family and friends in California. And I am thinking I'm going to try to do some more Midwest flying this year, because when we put the video together of the final flight in Low Red, I didn't realize how often I don't fly in that general area, like at all. And because I can fly so much higher in this airplane and not have to worry as much about mountains, and especially if I get my oxygen system installed, it's just going to make things a lot easier. So long story short, I will try to get over to the East Coast here very soon. I have a tendency to like go on these tangents of just talking to you guys about everything that's on my mind when I read a question. So hopefully it doesn't bother y'all too much. Would you own a plane jet someday in your future? I would love to own a plane jet. That would be so awesome. Have you ever been to the Blue Bonnet Air Show? I have not, but it sounds like fun. I love going to air shows because you just get to meet so many like-minded people that are just there to have a good time. Whether, you know, they're drinking a beer or they're drinking a lemonade, everybody's filming and taking pictures and looking at different aircraft. And that is just so much fun to me. I just love it. I love your channel and love MystiK. She's a lovely, powerful bird. Would love to see you, Pops, and MystiK someday. I think you are an excellent and amazing pilot. Well, thank you very much, Nicola. You are very, very sweet, and thank you for all of the kind words. And you never know. I always like to remind people, if there's an air show, especially Sun and Fun or Oshkosh, odds are you're going to see me there, and you might even see Pops there. You might see my mom there. I might start bringing friends with me because I got 6 seats in this bird now rather than just the 4. But that is the best way to come find me. So if you've purchased my book, if you buy one of the cool MystiK t-shirts and stuff, unless you get black, I'm happy to sign it, take pictures, answer questions, and just hang out, because that's what I like to do when I go to air shows. So maybe someday we will get to meet. That would be awesome. Jamie Rains, thank you so much for the super thanks. You are absolutely amazing. I think you've actually given me one before too, and this one let me like it. Now that I know I can heart those, it makes me even happier because I just get to see my little picture with that big heart. But thank you very much for your support. Again, guys, literally everything, whether it's from the memberships or it's from these gifts, it all goes back into my flying in some way, shape, or form. And so that's why it means so much to me. Even just watching the videos, I know times are tough. So if you can't give, please know that just watching my videos and leaving me a nice comment is just as much help. And I do really, really appreciate it. Would be interesting to see how Pops managed to attach. Yes, it would, wouldn't it? I got to go by. Well, thank you for joining Skyliosis. I'm glad that you were able to be here. And thank you for answering, or excuse me, for asking your questions. I'm glad I was able to answer at least a couple of them earlier. And hopefully I will see you again next Friday. I would be happy to move back to British Columbia if I had the chance. I've never been to British Columbia. Can you say all right? British Columbia requires money. I will say pretty much everywhere nowadays definitely requires money, because I've been looking at gas prices. For a lot of you may not know this. When I pick an airport, one of the first things I look at is how long is the runway? Do they have an FBO? Do they have an FBO with a maintenance shop just in case I land and something goes awry? And what is their fuel price? And I think I'm actually going to do a short video about that just so that I can answer those questions, because those are some of my most common questions. I am also going to be working on that cost breakdown video as well. So for those of you that want to know the price of fuel and the price of the airplane and the price of maintenance, obviously I'll have a better idea after having owned the airplane for a year and being able to go through those calculations. But I am going to do some guesstimating, if you will, and put together a video just trying to answer as many of those questions as I can. When you come up for Oshkosh, you could zip over and land on Mackinac Island, enjoy the Great Lakes. I wanted to go so badly, which is why I was so disappointed that I'm not going to be able to fly MystiK to Oshkosh. Unfortunately, the annual inspection is due in July, and I even thought about getting it done in June just so that I could fly it to Oshkosh, but my aircraft mechanic is very busy and he wasn't available. So hopefully next year I'll be able to make it work. With the bugs, Houston, we have a problem. No kidding. And I got to just tell you now, as soon as I get out of here, I will be closing all these doors, verifying that my air inlet valves, everything is closed, because I don't want anything in here. But we will see. Let's see. I'm a corporate pilot and enjoy aviation, and you have made a big impact on my daughter in her drive to get her private pilot. Yay, Jamie, that makes me so happy. I love nothing more than when I get to hear that, parents introduced my content to their kids or vice versa, which actually happens all the time too. But also being able to hear that now she is interested in becoming a pilot, that just makes my whole day. That's part of the reason why I love social media so much, is because I'm able to just jump on here and do what I do. But because I love it so much, I feel like that kind of comes through on camera, and it makes people almost feel like that FOMO situation. And especially for kids, if they see something they think is cool, they want to do it too. So that just makes my whole day. Thank you for sharing that with me. Fly to the Bahamas. I'm working on it. I think it's going to be awesome. How often do you fly commercial King Air, and how much faster is it? I've only gotten to fly it a couple of times, but I do have plans to fly it again soon. And it does go pretty darn fast. It's pretty awesome, to say the least. The airports around Missoula are hovering around $5.40. Okay, that's actually not too bad in comparison. Love your cheerful personality. My honey was like you. Oh, well, thank you, James. I appreciate that. What happened to Lil Red? Unfortunately, I did have to go ahead and allow somebody else to enjoy that airplane. But it's cool because the guy that bought it, he bought it for him and his family. So they are going to be doing some traveling together. And the hope is that it's going to inspire his kids to become pilots, and they're going to be able to use Lil Red as a trainer. And I think that's really cool. When do you plan to move up to the Cirrus Vision SF50 jet? LOL. I would have to look into that, but I do really want to fly a Cirrus, and there is potential that I might be able to do that soon. So you never know. I might be hooked and talk to you guys in a couple years and be like, hey, we're moving on again, But for right now, I'm just really excited to dive in deep and learn as much about this airplane and those avionics as I possibly can, and fly safe and bring you guys along for as many flights as I can. I think that's going to be awesome. Okay, ever interested in airline big boy jets? Steve Jones, you're sneaky. You put a little emoji so I wouldn't miss your comment. Well done. I would love to learn how to fly airline big boy jets at some point. But for right now, I'm still working on getting to my 1,500 hours so I can qualify for my airline transport pilot certificate. And once I get to that point, who knows? I'm open to anything and everything at this point, as long as I get to fly. The coolest thing I've ever done is fly the Delta Airlines 767 flight simulator. Well, that is very, very cool. You might just be a little cooler than me when it comes to that, because I haven't gotten to do that. What has been the biggest adjustment going from the Cherokee to the Seneca? Biggest adjustment, I would say, let me think. Well, there's quite a few things, because I've got brand new avionics that I'm not used to flying, so I'm learning those. I'm not used to having a prop and a throttle, so I'm working on that as well. And I would say probably the biggest adjustment is just remembering about the landing gear. And not because I'm going to forget it, but I check it about 15 times just to make sure I haven't forgotten it, both on takeoff, after I reach blue line, and when I'm coming in to land. And you guys will actually see that. My members, again, you guys will actually get to see it on Friday, and everybody else will have to wait until Saturday. But you will actually see that both Pops and I on our last flight both visibly inspected to make sure we had our 3 green lights, and we had one in the mirror to make sure our landing gear was down, just because we're not used to it yet, which I think is kind of funny. Yeah, I see you, Steve Jones. I know what you're doing. I actually do have this long-lasting protection for mosquitoes that I keep in my airplane, and I didn't spray that today, but I don't know if that would help or hurt with bees. I'll have to look into that. But I'm okay if there's just a little tiny welt, so I think I'm going to be just fine. No big deal. Hi, Kay. I always love aviation, and since I'm 60 years old, is there age restrictions? If you just want to fly for fun, absolutely not. The only thing I would say is, just because you are just now getting started, I would recommend going to get your third-class medical from an aviation medical examiner first, just to make sure. I'm sure you're healthy as a horse. Most people are, but just to make sure that there's no reason why you could be denied your private pilot at some point in the future. Last thing you want to do is go and invest money and time and get really, really excited only to find out as you're preparing for your check ride and you go and get that medical license, they won't sign you off. That can be devastating. And unfortunately, I have had that happen a few times with students in the past, and it's heartbreaking. So if you are in good health and you really want to become a pilot, I highly recommend going to an aviation medical examiner. Get your third class. You're going to be totally cool. And then hit the ground running, so to speak, for your training. Because once you start, you won't want to stop. You'll want to knock it out so that you can get that pilot course done and, pass your check ride and be able to go for a flight. And in the meantime, you can, of course, just hang out with me. Show the Bose headset. I tried to show it earlier, but now I got to climb all the way through. You guys want to see something cool? I'll show you. Why not? Whatever. What do we have to do? It's Saturday. Oh, okay, I'm going to show you guys. This is really cool. So as you can see, I was in the back seat, right? I'm going to climb through the seats to get into the front seat. I just have to figure out where to put y'all. Make sure I don't bonk my head too many times. Hold on. Pause for dramatic effect. Not the most graceful, but look at that. Now I'm in my pilot seat. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so let's take a gander. Here is my Bose A30s. Look at how pretty they are. I will say they are much more lightweight than the A20s. And in my personal opinion, they are even quieter than my A20s were, which is awesome because with two engines right next to me, it gets loud very quickly. But I am going to see if I can set y'all up. Oop, right there. Hello. Okay, so want to see how cool I look with these on? Boom. I'll use that as the thumbnail, but they're really, really comfortable, which I love. And the noise cancellation, like I said, is great. But I want to show you guys, this I did not have on my A20s. So I'm on my computer, so it's a little bit more of a hassle to try to show you guys all this stuff. But if you guys look at my control here, hopefully you can see that, there is my on button here. This is where my volume is, so I can turn it down if Pops is annoying me. Just kidding. And then I can, of course, turn it back up here. And then I've got how much I actually want for noise cancellation. So I have it set to high right now because there wasn't a whole lot going on. But, for example, if I was worried that something might be going on, I could turn my noise cancellation to medium or even low so I can listen to the airplane more clearly, which I think is really cool. And then, of course, I have my Bluetooth button here where I can connect. And yes, I do listen to music when I fly. Won't be doing that in this airplane for a while, just so I can get used to it a little bit more, but I will go to doing that at some point. And then I have my mute, mix, and off. So if I really want to be able to listen to music, but something comes up and I don't have time to pause it or anything, boom, I just switch it to mute, no more music. If I go to mix, I can listen to my music actually, I did the opposite. Mute. We'll mute ATC. So like, for example, if I'm the one sitting in the back and I just want to listen to music, or if I'm watching a movie or something and somebody else is flying sometime in the distant future, I'm sure, I won't hear any of the ATC radio calls. If I go to mix, then I can hear both, whatever I'm listening to and ATC. And then if I go to off, it just treats it like a normal headset where I'm just listening to air traffic control. So there's also a volume control button on this side too for whatever it is that I am listening to, which in my case is music, but again, that won't be for a little while. Okay, what did you get your multi-engine rating in? I actually got it in a Piper Seminole. Kind of crazy, huh? I am the checklist queen. You do not have to worry about me. Notice that it's past 3 a.m. until you commented. Oh no, it does work on Bees 2K. Oh, well, that's good to know. Thank you. Place some drops of hot sauce in your drinking water and the mosquitoes don't want you. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want me either. I'm not a huge fan of spice, unless it's Thai food. Thai food or Indian food, I can do some spice, and that's about it. Let's see. Just kidding, but is she really? Is she really what? What are we asking about? Hi, Ashley. Good to see you. I'm so happy you were able to join. I tried to do a live on Saturday to see if this would be better for everybody, or if we just kind of all want to hang out all the time. Whatever works for you guys works for me. Have you done a single engine approach yet on MystiK? I did when I was going through my check training. I didn't actually need to be signed off, quote unquote, but I needed my 10 hours for insurance purposes. So we ran through quite a few scenarios of losing the engine and single engine. But because these are counter rotating props, it definitely makes things a lot easier because I don't have a critical engine anymore. I do listen to music while piloting, but I haven't done it in this airplane and I won't for the foreseeable future just because I'm still learning and I'm still getting used to this airplane. Excellent. The spice must flow. I did my solo the other day. I had such a smooth landing as well. Congratulations, FS Madness. I am so happy for you. That is awesome. I wish I could go back to the day where I did my first solo and actually enjoy it because I was just a nervous wreck. And I think part of the reason why is because I needed to take my check ride and weather was bad. My airplane stopped being good. So they had to go in for maintenance and just one thing after another, after another, after another kept happening to me where I wasn't able to do my solo. So by the time I was able actually to accomplish it, it was just like, okay, it's done. What's next? So I'm very happy for you. I hope you celebrate properly. Flight school recommendations for a newbie. I don't have any for you right now, but I will tell you a great ground school course is Pilot Institute. So you can go to my website or you can go to their website. Just don't forget to use the code FLYWITHK. And you can actually do all of your ground stuff from home, at the office, if you can hide your computer, whatever it is that you do. It is a great way to get a good foundation of how to be a pilot without having to invest a ton of money in an instructor to teach you those things, which I think is very cool. Still curious why you decided to remove the AC unit. I've actually answered this question a couple of times, so my apologies if you missed it. It is just because I have to get it fixed. The hose was old, and so it broke, and I also have to get it filled with coolant because when I tested it out, it wasn't actually blowing cold air. It was actually blowing warm air, and that made it even harder to, fly because it was just annoying. So I took it out. But I am putting some counterweight in the back to help me with that flare, so that'll be good. Excellent, everybody. Well, I am so very happy that everybody was able to join. A huge shout out to every single person on here that became a member today. You have no idea how much support that gives me. And I'm really happy that you will have access to the videos before everybody else. I think that that is an awesome perk and something I'm really excited about. And a bigger shout out to Sibling Creature, because for the second live now, you gifted 5 memberships to some Caviators. And that is just the coolest thing ever. I just love that. And I just want to say thank you from everybody, but also from me. Thank you for supporting us. We really do appreciate it. And finally, of course, a huge shout out to every single person on here that gifted. Whether you were able to gift $1, $5, or you were crazy and you gifted $100, all of that money does go into helping me continue to fly and continue to do what I love and continue to make videos for you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every single person that was on this live today. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you again next Friday. And without further ado, I'm going to run home, put on a swimsuit, grab some lunch, and jump in the pool because I'm hot. But I'm glad I was able to hang out with you. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. And to all of my followers on here that might be fathers, or maybe your kids and you're going to hang out with your father for Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all of you. And I will talk to you again very soon. Bye, everybody.